Rock and roll, baby. Happy Tuesday. Hot Take Tuesday. We got hot takes. Ken, you got a hot take? Because I saw you in the car talking about it.
I've got it, man. Whoo, do I have a hot take?
I saw you in the car. You're like, I got 45 minutes.
I got 45 minutes to think of one.
Get in there.
Is this your Instagram post?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we keep Thursdays we got to do because tomorrow's White Woman Wednesday, One Hit Wonder. Remember, tomorrow's country. So get your country hit in. And we got to do Thankful Thursdays.
Yes, sir.
Because we keep forgetting to do Thankful Thursday. And dang it, we're always thankful here. I like being thankful.
Yes, sir.
I'm pumped. I'm excited. I was watching earlier. I was telling Belle the owner didn't show up at the Titans thing today. Just GM and the.
They didn't show up at the press conference?
No, she didn't show up. Adam's family didn't show up.
So who did the press conference?
It was the GM and the president. They're like, yeah, so there's that. The guy's a good guy, I guess. So there's that. And we wish him all the best. And everybody's like, that was awkward.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Awkward. I'll tell you what. I'm excited for that. We got so much stuff. Obviously, more on Israel. That was kind of a cool thing. I mean, look, there's going to be fighting. We were laughing about it today. Israel shot 5 Palestinians and some more little rockets flew over. But that's just normal. Like, that's a normal day. But this isn't going to be perfect. You know why it got done? And this is the thing. I've been saying it. I saw somebody else say it the other day. I said this. Everybody in the world focused on the word but. Not like your butt is nice and hot. But, like, that's a great, I like that. I like the start of that. But Trump heard, yes, we'll return the hostages. And he goes, all right, we're going to go from there. And that's it. That was it. Yes. Reagan used to say this all the time. Get what you can get. We'll get all the rest later. Because once you have the yes, everything else can be worked out. Everybody else focused on, this is a great plan, and he's all, this is a great plan. Yes, we're going to do this. And they went to say, but by then Trump didn't care. He's like, all right, that sounds good. Let's do it.
Well, Ilhan Omar has credibly told me that he doesn't deserve any credit for this.
I told you what I would have said. Rashida Tlaib. I know this sounds weird. If I was Trump, I would have called her, and in an unjoking way, because there's a lot of ways you can make jokes about this. And I would say, look, you're of Palestinian descent. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for your people to go there, be the first ambassador, somewhat, a liaison, and help rebuild them and put them on a path. I mean, not like in an unjoking way, because plenty of jokes out there, right? Ilhan Omar's and the AOCs and all that kind of stuff. There's plenty of jokes. I would have done that just because I think he looks at stuff like that and says, you know, that's a smart thing to do.
I think her TDS is so bad, though, that I could very easily see her going over there and say, don't release any of these hostages. Don't give this man a win.
No, I think she would have, because I think he would have done it in such a quiet way where somebody, a nondescript person, would have reached out to her and said, look, the president would like to see you. And it's not a joke. It's not something odd or weird. This is something that has the opportunity for you and to shape your, where your family and everybody came from, the future of this. I think that would have been, and he would have done it in such a way where, yeah, it could have gone sideways and he'd have made fun of it. But he also could have done it the right way. And he would have said, look, we got our problems. It is what it is. But the reality is she's going to be out of my hair. Oh, did you see that too? He's upset about his hair on Time magazine. I didn't know it was a big deal.
If the man wants to control the news cycle at any point, just shave his head.
So it says, he said it's the worst photo ever in his late night tweet or whatever. What is it? Do we call it a truth? What the hell do we call it, Ken? Truth tweet?
They call it truths.
Okay, truths. Time magazine wrote a relatively good story about me, but the picture may be the worst of all time. They disappeared my hair, then had something floating on top of my head that looked like a floating crown. Well, there you go. But an extremely small one. never happy with his wings. Really weird. I never like taking pictures from underneath angles, but this is a super bad picture. It deserves to be called out. What are they doing and why? I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't think it's a picture. Well, first of all, I don't think it's a good picture anyways, but your hair's there. It's so light, though, that the sun kind of makes it it makes it so you see right through everything. And oddly enough, the guy who owns Time Magazines, owns Salesforce, super big liberal. He asked Trump, so I'm talking about it, mega progressive liberal. He lives in San Francisco, and he told Trump, you need to send the National Guard into Oakland and San Francisco. This place is a dump. I was thinking about it. It would totally piss off Gavin Newsom. It would be great. It would be great. But Gavin doesn't deserve that. You know, I think, and this is me throwing this out there because you guys are going to take this for what it's worth. I honest to goodness think Trump has gone off after Pritzker because it will piss Gavin Newsom off. It takes away all of the fire of Gavin Newsom. Gavin would love more of the fire. He didn't really get involved in it the way that Pritzker did, and now he's seeing it. And that's why it's not a big deal the way it used to be, because Gavin is looking for that. He's already running for 2028. He wants to be president.
Yeah, it totally helps his profile.
Yeah.
If getting in a fight with Trump is going to get him in the news and all over socials.
Of course it is. I mean, it's a big deal. And that's why all of them like to do it, because they recognize the minute that happens, their profile goes way up. When I was in Arizona, Katie Hobbs, who's the governor, she was at the time like the Secretary of State. She was the one who handled the elections. Trump and everybody attacked her so bad that it made her a star. And she was not anywhere near being talked about running for governor, but she got so much money from outside people, and so many people elevated her to that point that people realize now that is a winning opportunity if you can get Trump to come after you. Because one side of the aisle is going to see you as a hero. The other side's going to dislike you, and the other part of it, nobody's going to care anything about it. Are we still locked down? Is that what I hear? Ken, are we still in a shutdown?
Yep.
What am I going to do?
It's kind of relaxing.
So tomorrow is payday for the military. I know they're trying to move money over. The amount of money that, and the Democrats are having a tough time with Trump trying to pay them because it's hard to go out and say, well, I don't think the military, that many of them get paid virtually. I mean, it's nothing for the most part compared to, what other people inside of government make, and they defend us. And it's hard to say, you guys shouldn't get paid. And so that's a tough thing for them to reconcile. Yes, Bill.
No, I was just thinking, when they do their tour, if they wanted to keep in that kind of line of work, they could go work for a private agency that provides security, and they'll make six figures.
That's exactly what they do. A lot of those guys, especially if they've been deployed, they get out and they go back and work for, the Blackwaters or BlackRock, whoever those people are, and they go over and they make $5,000 a week, in green zones or whatever, taking people back and forth. And private contractors, huge money, man. Huge money. I mean, the amount of money that once this thing gets going over there in Gaza, the Palestinian area, the amount of money that's going to be wide open for people to go out and, if you know people inside of government to bid on certain things, it's going to be huge. Even that whole fake GHF, which was the Gaza Humanitarian Fund or whatever it was like $30 million, $40 million here. Go deliver this stuff. And they didn't do a great job of it. You get those contracts, you're in like Flint. It's awesome. We got to be really working at that. We do. Just letting you guys know. Working at that. Tons of good stuff to get to today. I saw that all the news stations are now rejecting the Pentagon's loyalty pledge. So that's the one Hegseth wanted everybody to sign that says, you know, you can only be over here. You can only say certain things. We kind of have to approve everything. And everybody's like, no.
He said that to the press?
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah, it was not smart. Everybody, Fox, CNN, Newsmax, One American News, like all of these organizations have said, no, we're not going to do this at all. So the demand was these were going to be the new press rules about, I guess, certain. Look, if you work inside the Pentagon, there are certain areas you know you can't go. There's certain things you know you can't print. But they wanted like a loyalty pledge of certain things. And I'm glad the press said no. I am. You've got to, at some point in time, you got to say, this is not what transparency looks like at all. This is not it. Woo, man, I'm pumped for Hot Take Tuesday. Remember, guys, when we do hot takes here, remind everybody the hot takes, they're not political. Okay? So they are pop culture. You can do it about anything. We just don't do politics. The hot takes are something crazy. And I know Ken's got a good one because he had 45 minutes in the car to think of it. 45 minutes. That's awesome. Bell, he already has hot take. It's a good hot take, too. Very good hot take. For me, I think I got a nice one. RJ gave me one. Here's my hot take, RJ. And he gave me, his hot take was something about pizza and being pregnant.
Don't eat too much or you'll get pregnant.
Yeah.
No, I think it was.
Let's go with that.
You
Was
can
funny.
never make a mistake ordering a pizza? What?
Well, you might get pregnant.
What's on the pizza?
So if you're already pregnant, does that mean you can eat all the pizza you want?
That does. It does. Although you're not supposed to. Oh, speaking of that, my little sister, the good one, not the crazy one that made all the drug babies, Cracky, we call her Cracky. My other little sister, she sends me a thing last night. She's expecting her third girl. I was like, aw.
Oh, congratulations, Brother Chad.
Tell her to stay off the pipe.
No, this is the other sister. This is the good one. This is her daughter. This is my niece that my mom's adopted. I said, third girl. I said, that's crazy. But you know, like she's doing everything she can when her generation's not supposed to be having babies. She's having babies. She goes, you know, we've always wanted a big family. I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like, Bree, you have like 19 brothers and sisters. You know what I would want to do? Never have a child. Never have a child. But she wants a big family. It's crazy.
This coming from the guy with a 7-year-old.
I know. Can you believe that? It's so funny listening. Chris and I were talking about his son and how, like, I was listening to a story how his son played baseball and they were down 14 and they made the comeback and he kind of led the charge and it was just so awesome. And then I juxtaposed that against my daughter who would look at me and it would headbutt me. He goes, I read him that Tim Tebow book. I said, my daughter would tear that thing up. I go, I hate Tim Tebow. I don't like this. Oh, she's fun.
And then she'd throw kinetic sand in your face.
She would. We had to take that away from her. Coming up, a lot of stuff. Hot Take Tuesday. Remember, your hot take has to be anything but politics. It could be pop culture. It could be music. It could be anything related to anything, just not politics. We'll do that straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
Well, reporters keep asking Speaker Mike Johnson what he's going to do to end the government shutdown. And he keeps giving the same answers. Meanwhile, high lead levels have been found in many protein powders you may be consuming. We'll tell you about it at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, it's Tuesday. Hard to get your hot takes coming in. You know how we do it here at the Chad Benson Show. Hot takes, they are hot takes on anything not political. We don't have political. Those things are easy, right? And most people don't have the cojones to do any real hot takes. So when it comes to that, so we want hot takes. It could be on sports. It could be on food. It can be on it could be on looks, right? It can be on any of those things. Hot takes.
It could be misogynist.
It could absolutely be what Bell said because he's that kind of patriarchal leader that we find. All right, let's start. So 45-minute guy. So today, Ken, on his Insta and X and all the other things, 45 minutes, he said, I got a hot take.
Ken, what is your Instagram for people?
I don't know.
You really don't know what your Instagram handle is?
No, I just
Okay,
linked it,
boomer.
I just linked it to my Facebook.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look.
Oh, my Lord. I love that.
Oh, let's see.
Hold on here. I know what it is because I got you one of my first ones. That is just awesome, though. Or maybe I have you on the...
Is it Ken Joey Weaver?
Yes.
At Ken Joey Weaver.
Yeah. All lowercase, if that matters.
There you go. Follow Ken for his hot takes.
All right. Follow Ken for his hot takes.
I can't even tell you what my TikTok handle is
That's
either.
how hot takey it is. I love it. All right, Ken. Let's rock with it, baby.
All right, you boys ready for a hot take?
I am.
Oh, here it comes. Shared hot tubs are just human soup. Everyone's marinating in a broth of sweat, skin cells, and questionable decisions.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to agree with that 100%.
You know what, though? I love those things. I love a jacuzzi and all that stuff.
I like it all by myself.
Yeah, I could see that.
Unless it's my wife with me.
Yeah, well, yeah. But,
Other than that,
yeah, here's the thing. If I don't know you,
yeah.
I don't want to know you. If you get where I'm going with that thing.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
He gets in the hot tub, then his wife starts putting in carrots and onions.
Kind of like what the witch tried to do to Bugs Bunny that time.
That's right. That's right. All right, my man. Go for it, Bell.
Short shorts and mini skirts are never out of style, even in winter.
Really?
Really.
See, I would have went with 99% of you, even if you're a little bit larger. Those yoga pants will always make you look great. Even though I know you don't even know what yoga is.
I stand by my assertion.
Whew, that is a hot take.
Might depend on who's wearing them.
That's what I said, right? Because sometimes you think you got jorts on, and because you're a bigger person, they're not jorts.
I see you had to take my hot take.
They're
and
Daisy Dumps.
You had to take my hot take and just start fat shaming.
Oh, I love that. Oh, my goodness. Somebody said hot take, Dave Matthews is the most overrated band in history. Oh, they are. Dave Matthews is so overrated. I mean, they could, you know what? Fish opens for them. That's how bad they are.
Doesn't open for anybody.
That's how bad they are. Look, people love what you said, Bell. They love what you said because they like, All right, my hot take. I think prostitution should be legal.
I can agree with that.
You know what? I feel if you could sell your kidneys, I think that's a new thing we started a few weeks ago. I think everything should be legal. And I think it would be safer, too. I could easily make an argument how it could be safer and better than, being pimped out.
Because if you're not having to worry about getting arrested, you're much more likely to be open and,
absolutely
get tested and be willing to go to the cops. And
well, I mean, it could be another source of advertising revenue.
It could be. I wanted to do something for a long time called advertising, where we get hot chicks to wear stuff on the back of their things.
Like on the tramp stamp area?
Yeah. Oh, right on their butts of their jeans. And it just says, like whatever.com. Oh, thought that. Yahoo.com. Woo. Well, look at this. Pink Floyd is the worst. Man, look at that. Right on, Chad. F yeah, Chad. Okay, I see where we're going. Weed and prostitution. Baby, this is my crowd. Even though I don't do weed. You know what's interesting,
or
though?
Or go to prostitutes.
I was getting ready to say, you might want to follow that up, brother.
No,
Chad.
you know what? Look, I'm not saying I'm not making a buck or two, right? Like, I treat my ladies. What I was telling you the other day is the OnlyFans has become the biggest source of prostitution in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Because women are saying, oh, I'm going to do a shoot tomorrow, and they'll do it by themselves, but you'll come over and you'll pay them to have sex with you. They'll pretend like they're filming it. Let's just stop with the charade and get on with reality, okay? We're adults here.
I've noticed now that I've started to get into Instagram more that whenever you see an Instagram of an attractive woman, the first thing I always do is go to her profile to see if basically the Instagram is a promotion for her OnlyFans.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%. That's what it is. It's just leading you away from there to somewhere where you've got to get them $10 a month.
What would be the policy on tipping?
On that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's as high as you want to go.
Like, you hand over your credit card and it comes up 20%, 25%.
Or other.
Or other.
Or other, because it's always that. It's or other. Where you and you know what? They should have a Yelp for prostitution, too. Oh, you guys are the worst. All right, let us know what your hot take is. We're having fun, so just deal with it, people. Stop taking life so seriously. I know a lot of you do, but we can take a deep breath. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about Israel, got some other stuff as well. I think they're not going to open for a while if Trump could figure out a way to get everybody paid. And it is an interesting conversation to have coming up with this battle of healthcare, what everybody's saying that's real, that's not real, because you've got to find out where nuance lives and where reality lives. And at times, they don't live next door to each other. If you're missing the show, shame when you grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. A lot of you have a lot of jokes about the prostitution. A lot of that, huh? And look, it sounds weird. It's like, oh, but the reality is we're all adults. It happens. Can we just stop pretending like stuff doesn't happen because it makes people feel good and bring it out of the shadows? Stop demonizing people and get on with it. These women that make, $200,000 a month on OnlyFans, you'd be surprised who some of those people are that subscribe to OnlyFans. You would be. It's weird, too. It's like, oh, I can't believe that what? That guy did what? Yeah. So let's just stop pretending for a second and be adults here. That's all we're asking. You don't have to use it. Just understand that things like that happen. Mike Johnson, very much a mover and shaker. Speaking of a guy, he feels like a guy that would get caught up in something. But whatever, I'm not saying that he would. I'm saying it's a possibility. And Mike Johnson is far away from getting this thing done. And the longer it goes when it comes to the shutdown, if Trump can figure out a way to move money over, although he's got to ask Pete Hegseth to figure that out, which is a little trouble. But if he gets that done, they can go another week or so. I think the amount of money he's able to move over right now would only cover this first check. And when I talked to my buddy Mike Lyons today, he's at West Point. This is what he does. He was a retired major. Guy handled all the NATO stuff. The guy's brilliant. And he said they think they could get it, maybe them paid by the weekend if everything goes smooth. But they do recognize that after this, that next check probably won't be there. But I asked him because yesterday, so there was, over the weekend, there was a big story where they were in Texas and there's a bunch of military people in line at a food bank. They don't make much, but people are like, why are they there? They haven't even they haven't even missed a paycheck. It's not like they get paid a ton of money. They don't. And
and what are you supposed to do? Wait till your cupboard's bare to prep?
That's the other side of it. What do they? Yeah, it's called being prepared, getting ahead of something. Like, have you ever seen those places where they're like, here comes the big storm? Hey, you know what? They've got all kinds of the sandbags down there. You know what? I'm going to wait till it's here, and then I'll go get it.
As soon as the tornado hits, I'll order the underground bunker that I need to stay safe in.
Yeah, which is, again, another weird thing, you and your underground bunker. But the reality is they don't make a ton. They're already living paycheck to paycheck.
Luxury underground bunker.
Luxury, yeah. It's not an underground bunker. It is a luxurious abode. There needs to be a fix when it comes to health care. And the Republicans, I don't believe that you're into this. I don't. They could say that, we'll fix it afterwards. No. They need to figure something out at this moment in time. And for a lot of you out there, it's like, well, I pay for mine. Stop thinking of what is it about you, and start thinking about oh my God, this is about the midterms. This is about making sure that we don't end up losing seats and the potential to, see Trump in a situation where he's a lame duck president and they're going to try to impeach him over and over again. You've got to think of it in those terms. And if 22 to 25 million Americans have a chance where they could see their premiums potentially double, that's not a win. It isn't. And so if I'm them, I say, all right, Mike goes in, negotiates. What's your one thing you want? And you get one thing. What is it? And if they say, well, I want you to keep the subsidies, fine, we're going to do that. Everything else has got to go for now. And we can negotiate the rest in, 8 months or 6 months or whenever we do these next CR, 6 weeks. I don't even know. But you've got to figure that out because the thought process has to be not what's good for me, because a lot of people think of it in our terms, which is understandable. You have to think of it in different terms of trying to win an election, because that's what everybody's trying to do. They're trying to win an election. Because, unfortunately, politics, which used to have a season. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that the presidential race began like June or July, where they kind of lobby a little bit, then they would go to the convention, and then it would be like a 3-month run-up, not a 4-year run-up to the next election, which is nuts. Absolutely crazy. And when it comes to, and we had Jody Barrett on, we've had several, we had Gino Bolso on, several people on here, but I've for years have talked to Congress people, and they've always said, you get the night to celebrate, you kind of get back to work, but then it's all about raising money and getting ready for the next election, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Ken, I didn't want to tell you this, but I'm going to tell both of you guys this. I got into a fight last night. It was pretty bad.
Did she hurt you?
I haven't given her a name yet. It was my AI.
Oh.
We got into it pretty good, actually.
Don't do it.
We did. I haven't given her a name. But we got into it over getting ready to do a YouTube video. So I crafted out one of the YouTube descriptors and I said, hey, I saw that guy. Man, what a whack. Whack-a-do.
Yeah.
Like super crazy whack-a-do. And by the way, did you hear about the guy in Texas who shot the ICE at ICE?
Oh, yeah.
He believed after he went to, I think it was a cannabis farm in Washington State, came back to his parents wearing almost like hazmat suit stuff and gloves all the time, thought he had radiation poisoning, spent 12 to 15 hours a day inside of his room with ChatGPT, and mom never asked the question, hey, Joshua, are you going to make us grandparents? Are you going to leave your room?
Are you going to go decontaminate that radiation?
What a nut. And nobody bothered to go, you know what, we should probably raise an alarm here, that there's maybe an issue here, that we may need to farm this out to somebody above our pay grade.
Nobody wants to say, my kid.
My kid's a nut.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to say my kid has lost the plot. Nobody wants to be honest over the fact that maybe there are issues here that no matter how good of a parent you are, it will happen. Everybody knows this. No matter how good of a parent you are, no matter how much you give and love, no matter what you give them opportunity-wise, sometimes something ain't right. And this guy was a something ain't right person. Something ain't right. Tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of you chiming in. So this was an interesting one that somebody said the reason they closed the government down is because they want to make sure that nobody knows that 3I Atlas, the giant comet, could be a spaceship, that we don't know anything about it. It's just best to pretend like it's not here. It's not here. It's not.
The Ruskies.
The Ruskies. The Ruskies. Very much
The
the Ruskies.
Ruskies.
The Ruskies. I haven't heard that in a while.
The commies.
The commies. Soviets. CCCP. So I could see, right? That seems like something America would do. Hey, I got a good idea. Let's just go full ostrich. We'll put our head in the sand, pretend like it never happened. Even if it does land on the moon and destroy it.
Then pull a private or Sergeant Schultz.
What if it hits the moon and it tears the roof and we find out we're just like that Truman Show and that we're all just
it's
on
hollow. It's
we're all on a television show. We're on one of those big, giant, huge, massive lots like in Hollywood.
Either that or just every night the moon looks closer and closer.
As it's pushing it towards us. Oh, the moon's getting pretty big. It's awfully weird that we have so much ocean in front of us. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program. You missing the show, shame on you, grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.